If you're a young man or a young woman in Africa, you must understand that the system is already against you. And that is why when I look at the kind of lifestyle that most of our youths are living, it gets me mystified all the time. You live in a part of the world where the political leaders doesn't value how to develop and refine the destiny of our people. And yet, instead of you taking accountability of your destiny and taking your life very serious, you live as though someday, somehow, an alien from the sky will deliver everything you ever wanted. Hence, most of the religious leaders are preying on this your ignorance, prophesying to you every single year, and nothing has ever been proven that their prophecy is right. Hence, you have remained in destitute for decades, and you keep on listening to them. It might interest you to know that if you are 18 years old and someone else is 18 years in America, Japan, Australia, Singapore, Germany, the person is 10 years ahead of you already because of the way the system was structured to help them. The same thing is not applicable in any African country. And that is why you as a young person should take your life very, very serious. If the person in America is putting in 2-hour work to make sure that his destiny and talent come into fruition, you should be putting on 5-8 hours. But that's not the case. Most of our young people are too vested in entertainment and pleasure. They spend all their time clubbing, partying, smoking, sleeping with opposite sex all the time. So they negate the mission that brought them into this planet Earth. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I don't care what anybody else will tell you. But I'm here to tell you that African people are the new frontiers. The whole world is coming to Africa. In the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years to come, America, Japan, Australia, England, China, whatever call them, they are all coming down to Africa. The question is, our youths, are they preparing to take up this mantle of leadership that is about to be bestowed upon them by Mother Nature? If you look at what is happening today, you know that they are not even interested in preparing. And where did they get that mentality? It is from their political leaders that have got no aspiration on how to change their nation. The highest aspiration of a political leader is to get into the office and siphon all the money in the treasury account and make it his own personal gain, instead of using the resources to develop and industrialize his nation. We must tackle this epileptic mentality in our system and infuse a hygiene that will change the system for the good of those who are coming after us. There is no need that we keep on as a people complaining from decade to decade how the system is not working, given the fact that almost all the resources of this world resides in Africa. Most of the things that make the world to live freely and easily, the raw resources are taken out of Africa to Europe and to Asia, refined, built something, and then send it back to us. It is a cause. We can't continue to condone and accept that kind of mentality as a people. As a young man, as a young woman, instead of complaining about the government all the time, you have to tighten up your app. You have to buckle up your shoes, buckle up your belt, and then go and join a political party. That is how you bring a change in the system. or you become a political activist like myself. Speak for the people. Fight. We are in a real business. We can't continue to see our young people suffer here and there all the time. We must pay attention to what is happening in the world right now. AI is taking over, and the only thing an average young man or woman can argue about is about the God of Jesus and the God of Muhammad. You rarely see them talk about something that has to do with science and technology, the things that make life easy, the things that make evolution possible. We are not part of it. We're talking about AI, we're talking about cryptocurrency, but black people seem not to get to understand this. Only a minor part of them are doing these things. Why? Every single young person in Africa must get into this game by any means necessary. And that is why I have provided you at least some few points of the things you must do as a young person before you get to age 20. You must learn and master. You must understand these things. Because the way the system is orchestrated in this part of the world makes us not to understand what value is, and makes us to feel that life is based on wishes. No, life is based on critical thinking and the application of the things you've thought out over time, and strategically implementing all the things that you have come encounter in life. If that is not what you're doing, I bet you your future is going to be in a very dystopia, and that is not what you want to see. Just take a look at people in their 60s and 70s all over Africa. All of them, I mean, are filled with disappointment because their youthful age was not euthanized in the right cause. It doesn't matter how they blame whatever they want to blame. The problem is themselves. They did not invest in themselves rightly. And we as a people must come to the realization that every great nation depend and thrive upon the kind of youth that it is producing. And we cannot continue to produce men of mediocrity and expect excellence. We have turned our system in such a way that we celebrate mediocrity, we celebrate criminality, and we nullify good wills. Why? How did we get here as a people? It must stop. If you're a young man or a young woman in this part of the world, in the 21st century, these are the things you need to put in check if you must emerge victoriously and successful in this world and be able to compete favorably at the international scale and stand a chance of winning. Number one, you must study and understand the value and the use of money in our society. Everything that has to do with money. Number two is that you must read at least 70 books before you get to your age 20. It doesn't matter if it is in self-help, philosophy, chemistry, physics, whatever. Just read books so that it will open up a new world for you. The more you read, the more you develop a more neurons in your brain, otherwise called neuroplasticity, so that you can be able to have a very clear view of what the world is all about and how it works. Number three, you must study and learn everything you can about human history. I mean every history. Read a bit history of Africa, Europe, Asia, the Greeks. Read everything. Date as far back as 13.8 billion years. Don't get caught up by what the religious people teach you that the world started 6,000 years ago. If you believe that, I should consider you a dummy, even if you have a first class in your BSc. So, number four, you must attend career fair to explore job opportunity and network with employers. Number five, you must learn how to use social media platform for networking and personal branding. Number six, you must take course and workshop on personal finance management. Number 7, you must attend seminars or workshops to improve your skills and knowledge. You know that what they say, that knowledge is power? I don't believe that. Knowledge is never power, and knowledge can never be power. Knowledge can only unveil power. Man by nature is a powerful being. So what knowledge does is what fire does to a gold. When you go through the furnace, it comes out to be pure gold. So when knowledge has passed through our fabric of being, we come out gentlemen and gentlewomen who contribute positively to the society we are living in. Number 8, join a public speaking club to improve your communication skill so that you can better able stand a chance to present your argument, table your idea, and be able to sell your vision. Number 9, read up on everything that has to do with relationship, courtship, and marriage. Number 10, learn at least one new language. Number 11, you must be a graduate before age 20. And if you are not a graduate, at least be rounding up your study. Number 12, you must understand how to use AI, artificial intelligence. So you must study anything and everything about artificial intelligence, and then prompt engineering, your ability and capacity to ask AI very competent, intelligent question that will give you a very high rich results. So these are some of the things you must be able to understand before you get to age 20 as a young person, to be able to compete favorably at the international scale and stand a chance to succeed and win. As a young person, I must warn you, the way you take religion, you must reduce it. If need be, stay a little far from religion, because religion is the greatest assassin of the brain. The more religious you are falling into illusion, believing whatever they tell you. But you need a critical thinking to advance in life. This message must go out and the length and breadth of the whole African continent and get into the hand of every young man and woman out there. Let them understand that we are in a serious business. Because if we don't do this, we cannot stifle the system that is producing these evil men and women that is occupying the political offices in our nations. We can't have people in their 80s and 90s be the president of our nation and expect them to change the system. The language they are speaking isn't the language you are speaking. As the world is changing, they are not changing, they remain the same. Because the older people get, the more they remain rigid to what they know. But the younger people are, the more they are flexible to try new ideas. And we are living in a world that is controlled by ideas. The sharper your idea, the more successful and the more impact you are going to make, and the more you can shape culture in the world. For the past centuries and the past years, we produce good literary writers, we produce musicians, we produce footballers. But we tend to have not produced as good as more intelligent scientists in those fields like we have produced in art. So in this generation, I also tell young people to pay more attention to science and technology, because that is what changes the world. Everything around you today is as a result of science and technology. And that is why you must, by every means necessary, put in all your effort in it. As a young girl, as a young boy, you have to cut down your time in watching entertainment and sports. For those things are dumbing you down. They are making you not to think critically. They are making you not to see what is happening in the society. And if you can't see, you can't create a good future for those who will come after you. America was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. Japan, Germany, Singapore, China, those nations that you envy, you want to run away to, were not built in a day. They were built by young people. There were a time that their nation is also going through chaos, just as we have all across Africa. Their young people did not run away. They stood optically and fought doggedly on the restructure and put the system in place. And today, their offspring are enjoying it. And that is what I want you and me to do in this continent, in this particular generation. We can't continue to complain and then live a life that our children will arrive and still complain the way we do. No. That means there's error somewhere. So I put this to you to think about and pursue. I still remain Kelechi Ogbonna, and I'm the founder, Africa Resurgence Movement Organization, AMO. See you in the next episode. Pe aspera ad astra.